Okay. Start. Okay. So there was a little bit interruption in the network probably. Okay. So we have resumed the network back. So let us continue with the department profile. Uh, the department has three student chapters: the Institution of Engineers, IEEE, and we have a student staff association called Electra. The purpose of these uh, chapters, in this chapter, the students showcase their talent. Uh, share that. Share. Share application. Application. Please click on it. Okay. Okay. Under these uh, chapters, students have conducted activities under the banner of IA and Electra. So this include paper presentation, Robomania, technical talks, turbology. And recently, the department has conducted a one-week activity program on the thrust areas for research in power and energy system, a resource for beginners. Even we have the department conducted hardware and debugging, innovative ideas through hardware, ad making, group discussion under the banner of IA and Electra. These are some other activities conducted under the banner of IA, which are technical talks by the resource eminent personalities from the institution and organizations. In the department, we have a culture to have a parent meeting every semester to discuss the issues and the views of their parents in respect of their wards. And even through this parent meet, we convey this progress or the problem of their children's. So these are the glimpses of the parents meet conducted in the department. And even the department used to conduct industrial tours to give them the practical aspects. So these are the glimpses of the visits to Sandbox Hubli, the Powerhouse Ambikanagar, then JTTC Dandeli, and Powerhouse Ganeshpuri. Even in the department, we have sports activities and social activities. So in the recent past, we have conducted cricket competition for boys and volleyball competition. And to know the social economical issues of the villages and come out with the solutions for betterment of the society and the country, the students conduct social activities. So in the recent past, student visited Bikehalli village and they have carried out cleaning activity under the banner of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Project, it's a very important element in the B course, and because it reflects their knowledge, technical knowledge, and even the writing skills. And so our students, they have done a project, and many of their projects, they were sponsored. So in 2017-18, two projects, they were sponsored by VTU Belgavi, worth cash prize of 5,000 rupees. In 2018-19, three projects were sponsored, two from VTU Belgavi, one from KSST, worth cash prize of 5,000 and 6,500 respectively. In 2019-20, two projects, they were applied for the sponsorship for the VTU, and it is pending. We are waiting for their approval. Our students also participated in the project competitions. This is a very important element. And in 2017-18, two projects, they have won a project fault detection of overhead transmission line at feeder site, won second prize worth of rupees 15,000. In 2018, a project called titled Prototype of Standalone Hybrid System Using ICT. It has won Best Project Award. In 2019-20, project Intelligent Spy Robot for Defense Application. It has presented in Avishkar in VTU Belgavi. So because of the efforts of the staff and students, and this is what the results we have obtained in the last 3 years, 2017-18. So we have got a passing percentage of 83.9%, and out of that, 84.4% they are passed in FCD and FC. In 2018-19, we have got a result of 91.3%, and all the 91.3% students, they are passed in FCD and FC. In 2019-20, 94.9% result is obtained, and all the 94.9% students, they are passed in first class and FCD. In terms of placements, this is the statistics of the placement. So in 2017-18, out of all the 100% eligible students, all are placed in the campus. And in 2018-19, 47% of eligible students, they are placed. And in 2019, 25% of the eligible students, they are placed in the campus. These are some of the achievements of our students. Mr. Abhay Pandit, who was recruited in SSB interview in Indian Army as Lieutenant Officer, now is doing a training in Chennai at OTA. And a project fault detection of overhead transmission line at feeder side won second prize worth of rupees 15,000 and citation. Mr. Basappa Hubli was a VTU Blue, won first prize in VTU wrestling competition. Ms. Rajini Chandargi won was VTU Blue in hockey 2017. Ms. Divya Padwal won bronze medal in judo karate competition in VTU single zone competition at Chikkabalapur. Purnima Korvikar, she was selected for Abdul Kalam Susandhi Fellowship Program. Mr. Pawan Kumar, CM, was selected to a state level VTU wrestling competition in Chikkabalapur. Okay, so these are our alumni, these are our students who are placed at various companies. 14 students, they are placed in KPCL and KPTCL. 5 students, they are placed in IBM. 5 students, they are placed in Capgemini. 5 students, they are placed in West Coast Paper Mill, Dandeli. 4 students, they are placed in Cipla, Goa. 4 students, they are placed in Wipro. 4 students in Siemens. 3 students in Cognizant. 3 students in General Health Care India. 3 in Phenolics. 3 in Mindtree. 3 in Tata Motors. 3 in Tech Mahindra. 3 in ACC. 3 in Exchanger. 2 in L&T Solutions. 2 MRF. 2 JSW Bellary. 1 in GCB India. 1 Infosys, 1 in Indian Army. So this is the statistics. This is a few list I have presented, but there are many other students that are placed in various companies across India. These are some of the esteemed alumni: Thirumal Naik, Aditya Nelkeni, Anil V. Nirmali, Arvind Bhatt, Kirti Arikeri, Akshita Dandi, Madhu Madigaud, Giridhar Kulkarni. And there are other list of esteemed alumni, which are, because of time limit, I am not going to present here. Now, why electrical and electronics? As I said, that electrical and electronics, we disseminate knowledge. And as far as electrical and electronic engineering concerned, we believe that it is a driving force of all the industries, infrastructure, and also for our livelihood. In fact, country's development is directly related to per capita electricity consumption. So it is the soul of all engineering disciplines. So I want to say one thing is that electrical engineering is one of the core engineering discipline, and the outcome of this electronic, computer science, instrumentation, or it may be telecommunication. They are the sub branches of electrical. And there are many renowned electrical engineers. One among them I want to share with you. It is Dr. V.K. Atri, who is a former Director General at DRDO. Every student say electrical branch is very tough, but I want to say that electrical branch is not tough. It is very easy. So we can divide all the subjects of electrical engineering into 6 domains. One, electrical power generation, transmission and distribution, signal processing, power system analysis, industrial control, and electrical machineries. So here we will get the idea about this domain, the electrical power generation. As we know that we get electrical power from hydel power station. It may be either from nuclear power station, or it may be thermal power station, or it may be solar or wind energy, renewable energy sources. So in electrical power generation domain, the student will be learning all about these power generation aspects. In transmission and distribution, after generation, what is next? Next is to transmit and distribute the power. So all about the transmission distribution, they will be learning in this domain. And then in power system analysis, this is a very, very important element for a student, where student will be learning different techniques to find out the current voltage of power at different points in the power system. The electrical machines, as we have different electrical machines, we have transformer, DC machines, induction machines, synchronous machines. They are used for driving the industries or generating power. And all about these machines will be learning in this domain, electrical machines. And industrial control, here the student will be learning all about the control techniques of the industrial processes. And lastly, signal processing, student will be learning how to process real world signals for getting some objectives. And after completion of the in electrical engineering, where students they can be placed. So these are some of the venues I want to share. So they can be placed in electricity generation, HESCOM, KPCL or KPTCL, likewise electrochemical fields, defense. It may be Navy, it may be Air Force, it may be Army, railways. They can be recruited. Electricity distribution companies like ESCOM, as I said, electromedical fields, educational services. So they can come to a teaching field after completing their MTech, and ICT sectors, scientific research and developments. They can get a job in DRDO, ISRO, etc. Manufacturing industries such as sugar mills, or it may paper mill and other. Computer technology field, they can go to IT sector also. Petrochemical industries, electronic equipment manufacturing, maintenance and testing, communication fields, and manufacturing, maintenance services. So after completing engineering in electrical and electronics engineering, the students, they will be having these following qualities. They will be technically sound, problem analyzed, design solution. They will be able to use modern tools for solving the problems. They will be able to manage the projects, and they will be ethical and social. Uh, Thank you very much. Uh, I thank the media IT for giving me this platform for sharing the department profile with you. Here is my contact number 944993744, and my email ID is ussatpute at klsvdit.edu.in. So thank you very much to you all. Do you want to share video? My name is Arvind. I graduated from Kls Vdit from the Department of Electrical and Electronics in the year 2000. Kls Vdit is located in the midst of Western environment of India. It's a very good college to study, as all the departments have very good and very qualified faculty who are not just teachers, but very good guides and thought provokers who motivate the students to pursue their career aspirations. All the departments have very equipped lab facilities. The college library is wonderful as it has a large volume and variety of books. Equal importance is given to sports and other cultural activities also. The college has a very good and consistent placement record, as many organizations come back every year to offer jobs to the students. In short, Kls Vdit is a very good place for an engineering student to learn the best of technical and interpersonal skill from a set of highly qualified faculty.
Everyone. Hope you all are safe and doing well. I'm Akshata Dandan. I was a student of Kls Vdit Hyderabad. I was in electrical and electronics branch. Currently, I'm working as a design engineer in JCB India Limited, Pune. College has a very friendly, good teaching staff. They coordinated with us very well. Principal sir is very active, and the college has a very big library with many variety of textbooks with different authors, and college bus facility is also very good, so you should go for it. And thank you.
Well, thank you, Professor Vdit, for this mind-blowing presentation on uh, electrical and electronics engineering stream. Uh, Now, this was the last session of why engineering at Kls Vdit, and that was really a wonderful presentation. In fact, all the sessions presented by our beloved HODs are, in fact, are truly amazing presentations, and I would sincerely thank everyone for taking the time and presenting for you what Kls Vdit offers for all the budding engineering aspirants. And on top of this, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. V.V. Katti, Dr. V.A. Kulkarni, who is our vice principal, for management, and all the teaching and non-teaching staff who have consistently helped to make this webinar a big success. And I hope we have conveyed all the information which, as an engineering aspirant, would expect to join the institute. And I hope we will be seeing many of you in the campus very soon, because the seat results are already out, and I only expect that come let's join Kls Vdit to make your career a brighter one, and we have our team is ready to make you an industry ready person. So once again, I thank you for attending this webinar series, and I thank everyone who directly and indirectly supported this webinar series. Thank you one and all. Signing off from here until we meet next time. Thank you.
This conference is no longer being recorded.
Yes.